Everything happens for a good reason. Even the most traumatic events. Wow. Did this trigger you? Or do you like, maybe, Well, in this video I'm gonna share with you why I'm saying this, how I came to this conclusion, and who else came to this conclusion, and why. So, buckle up, get some water, because it's important to stay hydrated, especially when you start to process things, because this is again a processing video. It's an inner journey. Yeah, me speaking, but you will make your own inner journey. Like, subscribe, and share. Hi, my name is Lotfi Mruit, and I'm gonna explain myself a bit now. Most of us, especially you, if you're watching this video, you are already aware of the fact that we are constantly growing, evolving, learning, that our experiences in life are contributing to this. Especially if you look back, we can see how we have grown, how we respond differently to things that happen to us or that come on our path throughout the years. But where the sensitivity lays is when you read something like, everything that happens to you in your life is part of a life lesson, or is leading to a life lesson, or is even a lesson by itself. Even traumatic events. And this is a sensitive subject for many people. Why? Well, I can tell you from experience. It can be really upsetting when somebody tells you this when you're in the middle of pain. When you're still in the victim part, where you're still suffering from what is or did happen to you. I managed to change this. When I say change, it's like change the duration of how I feel about things, the duration or between the experience and starting to see a life lesson in it, and maybe later on see a new lesson in it or deepen the lesson. I changed this by focusing and reminding myself time after time that everything happens for a good reason. We just may not see the reason yet. Those of you who have been following me for a while know that certain things took decades for me to see why it was good that it happened to me, or good that I did something. And then it started to take years, and later months, and then weeks, and then became even only days, and down to hours. Now it can be minutes of seconds. Not for everything, but I'm open to the possibility. And it's also, some people call me optimistic. And maybe that is part of it, my optimism, me being positive, although not everyone has been experiencing me as a positive person, for many reasons, and I don't judge them or blame them. But I have this thing in me that wants to believe that there is still a good reason for even the shit that humanity is going through at this moment. And I use this word consciously because a lot of people say, oh, but it's beautiful, it's a beautiful awakening. Yes, but still a lot of shit is happening. People are killing each other, people are poisoning each other. I mean, it's horrible. On the other hand, there's a lot of good happening as well. But then you need to really pay attention to be able to see that. You will not see that in the news, in the media, not even much on social media. You need to choose carefully where you look and who you interact with to start to see the good. And then when you do this, when you focus it there, then things can change. But coming back to the life lesson in everything, and that everything happens for a good reason. It's simple. You make the choice. Do I want to continue the rest of my life suffering and complaining about how unfair everything is and how fucked up the world is and how bad people are and how sad your life story is? Or do you want your life to improve? The quality of your life to improve? The kind of people you're around to improve? Not only bad people who hurt you or who steal from you or cheat on you or whatever. Cheating is an interesting one, by the way. I'll make a video on that one day. You choose which way you want your life to go. When in 2019 things started to change, in 2020 lockdowns hit, my business suffered really, really, really badly. And I could have stayed in the, oh, my business collapsed and how I'm going to survive and blah, 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 and start blaming people for creating this big mess that we are in. But then I would be like those people who are still complaining today about everything, who have been complaining for the past few years. Or those people who seem not to complain, but they have been drugging themselves with alcohol, porn, sex, excessive TV watching, TikTok, whatever it is, just distractions, escaping from reality. But they're not happy. I mean, how often have you seen an alcoholic being happy? Because it's basically what you are when you start to escape your reality with alcohol or anything else. You become an alcoholic or an addict to whatever thing you're doing or consuming. And there's nothing wrong with feeling bad. Don't take me wrong on this. It's normal to feel bad when something bad happens. But then, I'm not saying, okay, I need to be careful how I choose my words here. I wanted to say the sooner you, but it's not about how fast can you do it. It's not a race. Too fast is not healthy as well. But from the moment you start to look at, okay, I don't want to keep feeling like this, so something needs to change. And the change happens within you, not on the outside. The outside is a reflection of what's within you. And this is also something that's triggering people. Oh, I got raped. How is that the reflection of what's in me? Yeah, well, we are very complex beings and we have lived many lives. Maybe we are living parallel lives in parallel universes. There are different theories on this. But the fact is, we all carry within our genes the good and the bad that we're experiencing. Whether it's that we did it in previous lives or our ancestors did it, as close as your own parents. So it's there. And if we look on soul level, we are here to experience things. Because many people, they're saying, yeah, we need to leave this plane, we need to evolve. No, we came here to have a human experience. It's very easy to have a beautiful experience when we're not in the physical world. But in the physical world, it's like a game. You have rules of the game. There's a board or a screen, and within that field, there are certain rules that apply, and that's how you're gonna play. That's how you're gonna interact. And so when we shift our focus, we start to shift reality. And maybe some of you will say, okay, prove it to me. Give me examples. Well, I'm not going to spend my time now to give you 20 examples. You can watch back my videos. Plenty of them. And I gave a lot of examples, personal examples, and examples from people I've worked with or experienced or whatever. So they are there. There are hundreds of hours of videos where I do share experiences, good and bad ones, and what I learned from them. How I became a different person, how I became the person who I am today through all those experiences. And I'm still changing, I'm still learning. Literally today, something happened and wow, it was a mirror. I know many people would not want to see such a mirror or any kind of mirror, but it was a mirror and I was like, oh, huh. Isn't that basically what I want or what I'm saying to people or something like that? And I'm like, oh, wait, oh, okay, makes sense now. And so I really encourage you to take some time and start by looking at things that happened long ago, what you learned from them. And if you still feel pain, you're like, oh, what I learned is that I will never ever do that again. Okay, you saw my way of expressing? That's an expression of I'm still in pain. So go to that pain, sit with it, and feel. What is hurting me so much from that thing, from what happened? It's not the thing that happened that hurts so much. It's how it affected you. So how did it affect you? How did it make you feel? And go deeper and deeper and deeper to the feeling behind that, where it's coming from, what it's related to. This is also how I work with my clients, to go to the root source. And often we find this thing that we didn't pay attention to, where it all started. But on the way of digging, it's like an onion, you peel off layer after layer. We learn, we grow, we evolve, we become wiser. And often even calmer, more peaceful on the inside. So, I will try to not make this a long video because most of you are so addicted to short short bursts of energy, and yeah, my videos are not like that. I speak slow. I include pauses of silence because it's about integrating, about your process through what I'm sharing. And some of you may even pause the video. I do that sometimes when I watch somebody's video and I'm like, wow, I'm processing. I just pause and I let whatever is coming up come up, let it process, and then when that is done, I continue. We can do the work in this moment. And that's with most of my videos. Yes, sometimes I tell a whole story, or 2 or 3 stories. It's not about the stories. It's about the message behind the story. The story is just there for you to have a reference point, so that you at a certain moment can you start to recognize things from your experiences, from your life. So yes, I stand by what I said. Everything is happening for a good reason, even the most traumatic events in our lives. And I'm talking from personal experience and the experience of many people that I know personally. So no, I'm not an exception. There are so many that it can't be an exception anymore. This reminds me of an episode of South Park where they were complaining about minorities, and the minorities were, most of the people were minorities at a certain moment in the city. They're like, they're everywhere. So they're not a minority anymore. You become the minority. I hope this video inspired you, maybe triggered you, and looking forward to your feedback and also questions. If you need help, ask. You can ask me. Asking for help is a sign of strength. It's being smart, doing the smart thing. And there is no shame or dishonor in that. I wish you a beautiful day and see you in the next video. Like, subscribe and share.